I come from the tech. Systems, peoples, and cities to this place. Mainframe. My format is
Now, if you were born in the 90s or earlier, I'm sure you remember most, if not all, of those TV shows, such as Pokemon, Digimon, Reboot, Saved by the Bell. They're great TV shows. I have fantastic memories of them. But I look at TV shows nowadays and I don't really feel the same. Like, I don't see them and I don't have that great of memories of them. Now, is that just because I feel nostalgic about it? Or I want to feel nostalgic about it? Or is that just because the overall content isn't that great? Because we don't really have very good... It's not very intellectual. There's no real moral. And overall, there's so many commercials on TV now that we don't really have enough TV time. What's up with that? Now, before we start talking about TV shows, we should probably talk about commercials. So, what better way to start talking about commercials than going back to the first commercial that was ever aired? Now, that's back in 1941. 1941, the first commercial that was aired was at the beginning of a Dodgers and a Phillies game. It lasted 10 seconds and costed $9. Now, $9 then is about $144 now. Yeah, think about that. Now, fast forward 50 years. It's now the 1990s and a wonderful thing just happened. The internet was born. Lovely, lovely internet and traffic. Lovely traffic. Now, along came the 90s and there came the internet, thus creating more opportunities for advertisements. So any kind of ad is now on the internet, which made it possible for local businesses to get on the TV for cheaper. For local TV stations, such as Rogers here, it usually costs about $50 to get your commercial onto a good time slot. It usually costs about $2.4 million to be on during the Super Bowl. Now, the big three TV stations make about $10 billion in advertising every year. Now, from local businesses, for their advertisements, they have limitations, time limits, for how long that they can stay on the air. Now, they can show as many of these as they want, but they're only allowed 12 minutes per hour, so every half-hour show, you have about 6 minutes of commercials. Now, you guys all remember The Simpsons, oh yeah? That funny little jingle? But yeah, that has actually been reduced. The actual airtime for The Simpsons has been reduced by 2 minutes over the past 10 years. Now, think about it this. If that, let's just say that continues. We're losing another 2 minutes in The Simpsons. I love The Simpsons. I don't want to know more. Less Lisa. Or Bart. Now, on average, about 22 minutes of every hour is used up by commercials. During prime time, it's about 34 minutes. We now end this for a short break for a very awesome commercial. Yeah, guess what? 22 minutes of this is just a black screen throwing ads at you. Do you feel like you're on the internet yet? It's not just the quantity of TV that's been put on the air that's been decreasing. It's been the quality as well. I mean, seriously, I remember TV shows like Martin Mystery, Malcolm in the Middle, Boy Meets World, all those really awesome shows. And what are we getting nowadays? We're getting Honey Boo Boo What's Her Face. We're getting 16 and Pregnant. Like, seriously, what does this say about our society nowadays? See, even kids shows nowadays aren't even that great. Like, seriously, what do we have now? We've got Fairly Odd Parents, which is basically a dysfunctional family trying to help out a kid. And then we have stuff like SpongeBob. We had SpongeBob. SpongeBob it's comedic, yes, it gets your attention, but where does it go with that attention? It doesn't really go anywhere. It just teaches you that being stupid's okay. I remember when I was younger, we had TV shows that actually were clever. They were smart. Like Reboot, all the character names were from computer references. Like you had Dot, you had Matrix, you had Enzo. The only one that really didn't make much sense was Bob, but that's just because it was a different kind of thing. It was a different reference. But then we also had stuff like Captain Planet. Captain Planet teaching us how to save our world and treat our environment with respect. Not go dumping a bunch of crap in our environment. Let's just put it this way. Cartoons nowadays aren't that great. They don't really strive to teach you anything. If they do, it's like the basics, like Dora the Explorer, where you really have to try so hard to figure out where the hell the map is. Seriously, we're not stupid. Like today, we were talking about Dora the Explorer. Well, what is that teaching our kids? Is that saying that if you don't want to do something, someone's just gonna hand it to you on a silver platter? I have a feeling that when we were younger, we had that strive of exploration. If we didn't know something, we had to figure it out for ourselves. We still have to figure it out for ourselves. But now our kids, I feel like they're getting more needy. They're more like, it's okay if I don't want to do this. Well, how does that translate into high school or elementary school even? If I don't want to do my homework, I don't have to. Like, if someone's going to tell me eventually, right? Now, that was a long trip from the past, and I don't know what the future holds. But I do have a lot of confidence in HBO, considering they're a privately owned company. They don't show too many shows, and the content that they show is pretty good, such as Game of Thrones and Netflix. I also have a lot of faith in them. They are creating their own content from old TV shows that were canceled on Fox 5 years ago. I have some faith in the future. I don't know what it will hold, but there's always room for improvement. But with room for improvement, there's also potential for failure.